We're back.
With tea.
With tea.
And carrot cake.
And carrot cake. The reason why we say back is not because we've been gone for 9 months, which we have, but rather because we started recording and then Ari goes, what if we had tea and cake? And so we got tea and cake.
So now we have tea and cake.
So if there's a lot of chewing in this episode, you're welcome.
It's ASMR. Maybe we have
ASMR.
to put in little brackets at the end.
ASMR, yeah.
ASMR,
absolutely.
just in case. Have you ever tried doing ASMR?
No.
Okay, now's the time.
Man, this is what's going to happen about all of today.
I've decided that cake isn't good for ASMR.
We can't take a bite at the same time.
Wait.
We shouldn't be taking a bite at the same time because what's going to happen is we're going to both eat and then just be silent while we chew for a second. So we have to tactically now figure out when the other person's going to bite and then the other person has to pick up. That's fine. That's fine. I can do that. But we're back. The reason why we have cake is because it's the 1 year birthday of We'll Meet Again.
Yay!
Yay! So we thought we'd do a podcast to celebrate 1 year since the show. Well done.
Well done, us.
Great show.
Great show. That was a long time ago. I keep getting memories in Google Photos. You know, it's like 1 year ago today you were doing this, and it's all just our vlogs leading up to the show. And I'm like, God, that was a time. That was an absolute time.
It feels like it was ages ago.
Yeah.
But I was talking to some friends last week, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago, and the topic of the show came up, and he just was like, oh, I really liked that show, by the way.
Aww,
and I was like, oh, that's very nice of you to say. Thank you for that. So it's good. Since doing the show, we haven't done anything with it since.
Done with the show. No, we haven't. That's true. We did. There was definitely a time when we were talking about actually going and doing stuff with it. I don't really know what happened there.
And that's okay. I think that's fine. And I think that's also part of the process. That's what we're talking about is we did a thing and
Aaron,
Sorry, I didn't realize. I'm sorry, there needs to be some, we're not on the same page. We haven't done this in so long that we're out of sync. But you know, like sometimes when you do a thing and we did a thing and it's great. And I think that thing has actually like kind of bolstered us both as we've gone and done other things. You know, we've gone our separate ways, and I just want to say it's not your fault. You know, it's just us. We decided that it's just our.
It's not you. It's us.
It's not you. It's just you know, we're just having some time apart. No, it's just
that was probably the most roundabout way anyone has ever described having just a bit of a creative lapse.
No, I mean, I would try to phrase.
That's when people do when you see TED Talks, because TED Talks are all usually really good. When people like are mimicking TED Talks, and they're like, so there's a thing, and when you have the thing and you've done a thing and then you've all got things on and there's a thing, it's what we call this thing. I think there was definitely a thing counter, and you said thing
probably
so many times to the point where I was like, I don't actually know where he's going with this. As far as I was aware, we were just going to go, oh, it's a year since we've done the show, 9 months since we've done a podcast. Soz team, we're back. Probably not for,
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Probably not, but yeah.
We'll Meet Again 2 is called We'll See. Or We'll See About That. We'll Meet Again and We'll See About That.
We'll See About That sounds like the name of like a really great like comedy like reality show. It's like, we'll see about that. Today on We'll See About That. The audience that comes in.
Contestant 1, Aaron.
Aaron is a 20-something who has done a show 1 year ago. Will he be able to do it again? We'll see about that. That's great.
Well, it's like the comedy sketch stand-up thing we need to write collectively because my mother thinks that's a good idea.
The duo one? Yeah. I think that's a great idea. That could be something that we do next as just like a...
that's...
I already can see it. Like, I can visualize it.
I think it has such good marketing potential.
Absolutely, it does. I think it's easier to market than We'll Meet Again.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think also it's probably easier to write. Frankly,
absolutely.
Because it's just... Like, I think comedy might actually be easier to write if you're funny, but I'm not. But Aaron is.
I don't know about that.
Well, you do write.
And I also don't know about you saying you're not funny. I've
never written comedy, so I don't actually know how to write comedy. So I haven't tried.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if I tried, I'd be like, oh, this is awful. Or, oh, this is really great.
Actually, that's a good point. I think there's a difference between being funny and being a good comedian.
Yes, I agree. I think people laugh at me a lot, but I think if I was actually on stage, I don't know if I'd be funny. You know what I mean? Like, I think once I'm on stage, people will be like, what is she doing up there? Whereas, like, my general existence is humorous because I do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And make weird faces.
You're
and people are like,
the person that I can then write a stand-up thing about and get along.
Exactly.
No, but I also
my life could be used, but I don't think if I could be used.
Yeah, I disagree with this, but I understand what you're saying, and I think it's a good point that like a lot of people just go, "Oh, my friends laugh at me, I'd be a good comedian," but it's actually more complicated than that. And like, you know, I'd encourage everyone to give it a go. You know, there's no harm in trying, and if you think something you want to try and do it. But yeah, it's I think it's more complicated than just being, "Oh, I'm funny, I can be a comedian."
Life advice with Aaron. I like that. But yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know. That could be a thing that we do.
It would have to be fully scripted. None of this improv stuff.
That's fine. I actually think that it would be better to be fully scripted.
If we did a fully scripted duo,
50-minute duo comedy show.
So basically we'll meet again, but instead of dark, it's humorous.
And there's no story. It's just us talking to each other and telling funny stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could even be like a variety show.
What? So I'm just going to start juggling halfway through?
Yeah, why not? That's what we'll meet again.
What? True. Wait, did we ever juggle in We'll Meet Again?
I don't think we ever juggled. It was in the script.
Originally in the script, there was a bit where I just wanted to show off and juggle for a bit. So I wrote it in where I was like Lenny's character couldn't juggle. And I could all of a sudden. And, I don't think that... Why did we cut that?
The reason why we wanted to put it in was this idea that...
cut that?
We did. I'm pretty sure we cut it.
Why?
I don't know why we cut it, actually. But the whole point of it was that, like, we wanted to show that George was just really innately good at everything. Yeah. And Lenny was just not good at anything at all.
Oh, maybe we cut it because of that. It was coming off too much, because there's already a lot of instances where George was really good at everything.
That's fair.
But then we had no single instance of George being really good at anything.
Just George being
Wasn't there a
together.
moment?
Because the idea was that, like...
No, there wasn't.
Jenny can't juggle. Jenny can't juggle. Another great movie to tell. There's a lot of singers today. Because Lenny can't juggle, and then George can, and it's like, oh, whoops. Oh, I used to play cricket. I'm actually... I don't know why I'm just so good at this. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Did the cricket line not make it?
No, because that's in that section, so we must have cut that too.
That was my favourite line. And then there was a blackout right after I was like, I used to play cricket. And Lenny just goes...
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how did I not know?
Did we not do this?
We didn't do that.
Oh my goodness. That was a really good... I think I wrote that as well.
You absolutely did. I quite liked it. I don't know.
To be honest, it probably cut it because I probably only wrote it for a moment to juggle.
Yeah.
And then actually tying it in with the story probably fell apart a little bit. And I feel like what replaced it, now I'm thinking about it, is the card scene.
Yes, I think so.
Because that was a new one that we wrote, kind of. All right, well, there you go.
But yeah, there's opportunity for things that are fun. There you go. I mean, this shows you how long we've done the show. I don't even remember what scenes we're in and what scenes weren't.
I couldn't do the show.
I couldn't do the show again.
And if you'd asked me this morning if we did a scene where I juggled, I would have said, yeah, we did. Except for the fact I would not have been able to remember what balls or anything like that, the logistical side of it. But I would have been like, yeah, we definitely wrote a scene where I juggled.
Which we did. We did write the scene. I just don't think we ever put it in the show.
Yeah.
I did do an episode on the YouTube channel. Go watch that if you want to, where I dissect the script, versions of the script. It might have been in an earlier one. If you're kind of interested, go check that one out. I might have talked about it then. I don't remember. I probably had more of a memory of what we were doing then than now, so it would be worth
dissecting the script a year later.
Yeah,
do we remember any of it?
I mean, that's a fun idea as well. We try and do We'll Meet Again from memory a year after without ever looking at the script again.
All right, what's your first line?
I hum the song, right?
Okay, let's jump to a random scene. Hang on. Let me think of a line that I can actually remember. I actually am really struggling with that right now.
No.
Can't think of a thing.
No.
Wow, I cannot think of any. But to be fair, I feel like your lines kind of guided a lot of the convo.
That's true.
And I just responded.
Yeah. Which would be nice to do a comedy show where I think it's a lot more of a back and forth. And because it's both of us, like, we don't have to write characters. It's just you and I goofing about. I feel like ASMR...
Where are you going with that? I listened to ASMR the other day. I was just curious. I've never actually, like, what's the word? I always talk about it. ASMR. And I've only ever seen, like, jokes of people doing it. So I was like, what does it actually sound like? I don't know. It kind of just reminded me of, do you know when you're, like, lying... do you know when you have headphones in but there's no music playing or the music stops and you're like lying down on them and you accidentally like scratch over the plastic part of the headphone? That's what ASMR felt like. I think that's a really great way to phrase it. Where I was like, I don't really like it because I don't like the sound of, but whereas I can imagine some people would really like that sound of like muffled. Yeah. But yeah, it's like when you put headphones in and you like tickle the headphones. That's what ASMR felt like. Yeah. To be fair, it was just like, it was like a long nail tapping one. And I was like,
you would continue to engage with ASMR?
Maybe a different type.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't like the tapping noises.
Okay.
It just felt like my headphones were glitching, or I was like someone was tapping on them, which I guess is what that's what
kind
ASMR
of what they're doing,
is.
yeah. But I think it's also like
I think whispering. Apparently, there's whispering ASMR. I think I could get around that, like gentle whispering, maybe. I don't know really. Where are we going with this?
I don't know. This carrot cake is very good, by the way.
It's homemade.
Yeah. Who made it?
Me.
Oh wow.
I homemade it. Yeah, for this very purpose.
Yes, for this specific purpose and no other reason.
No other celebrations that are coming up. Aaron, How does it feel to be old soon?
Well, I kind of already feel like I say that I'm the age that I'm going to be turning. But
yeah, I still say that I'm 21.
I still say that I'm 18. But age is a
dynamic construct. That it is.
But yeah, it's been interesting how much, like, obviously you and I have both done a lot of things since We'll Meet Again, both creatively and non-creatively. And I'm just starting a new thing that I've been doing. And so, like, it's been interesting how much the last, like, couple of weeks have felt like the end of, like, the 2022 season of my life, like the season finale, where all of these things have happened that have kind of teased the next season. And then I'm going to go into the next season of my life. With nice the pilot metaphor. That comes out. I like it. It's been interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, but it has like, in a way that it actually kind of did feel like that in a way that I'm look at all these, like, this new, like the next stage in my life.
Yeah. I get that.
Which is really interesting to look at and also be kind of terrified about because, oh no, what happened to the last stage?
Well, especially you finishing uni. I think that's a big, like, that was definitely for me, thing. Like a big, I mean, we started this podcast as I finished uni.
Yes, correct.
So I was like, graduating into this, and it was like, oh yeah, cool. Whereas now you're like graduating into whatever you're graduating
other things.
Into.
Yeah, it's just a whole fun time. But I've been doing like more YouTube stuff. If you check out my other channel, I've been making YouTube shorts, and they're pretty cool, and I'm really enjoying doing it.
And I've been watching them.
Yeah, thank you.
and sharing them with all the peoples. I just randomly will send them. Just whenever anyone mentions any of the movies, I'm like, hey, I have a friend.
Have you seen this? That's so nice. Thank you.
So like, you know, all the people.
That's why they might have been popping off
watch
a bit.
The 3.7K views definitely came from all 3.6K of my friends.
Yeah, it's not bad. But it's been nice to kind of re-find a creative outlet that's just enjoyable, you know, and I'm not doing for anything other than just
funness.
Me. Yeah. Which has been really good because it's been a long time of like, I mean, we spoke about this when We'll Meet Again was happening, how much of it kind of started to get, like, it was a stressful situation. And not to say that it wasn't worth it. It was, in the end, it was one of the most rewarding things I think both of us have ever done ever. But it gets to a point where it becomes, like, it is stressful. Whereas the YouTube shorts are really easy to make. They're very low, like, they're not like, I say low effort, they're not low effort, but like, they don't require as much effort as, say, a full-blown production of a play, obviously. Yeah. And so being able to pump those out has still been a fun thing to do. That is just like, oh yeah, I'll just keep doing this. So that's cool.
Yeah, I can't believe how much we were doing last year. I think about putting it on now, and I'm like, even now it sounds stressful. Where we have like, but collectively probably have way less than what we had back then. Like you were juggling uni and work, I was working multiple jobs.
Plus we were doing multiple other shows. Yeah.
And now I feel like we're definitely in a bit of a lull.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely in a bit of a lull, and even putting it on now sounds like. Ugh.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel like it's interesting because I also feel this, and I'm sure you also feel this way because you and I are very similar in this regard. Where back then we were stressed, and now having nothing on, we're still stressed. There's no way, and like I want to try and encourage both of us and all those of you at home who have this kind of similar thing to try and convince yourself to enjoy the downtime, which is really, really difficult to do. And I need to do this as well.
Yeah.
I can't physically do that because it's either like I either don't have anything on and I'm stressing about not having anything on, or having too much on and it's like there's no in between. There's no balance.
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I think regardless of the show itself, to go through that stress period and come out of it, you know, pretty all right. I think we did well. Honestly, I think we came out of it really, really well.
Yeah.
So I think that was a positive thing to look at. But yeah, you're right. Like to think a year ago seems like so long ago now, but to think about all the things we were doing back then.
Yeah. Although I feel like the first half of this, or up until August, this year's moved very fast.
That's a good point.
And I think now it's going to slow down for me because I had so many plans and I was like basically back to back up until August. So when you're busy, it's like, oh yeah, all these things happened. It's very easy to like, a year can go by fast. Whereas now I'm like, oh yeah, this has felt like the longest week ever. And it's Thursday.
As of the recording of this video, it is a Thursday.
Exactly. It
okay,
feels like
sorry.
It should be like a
we're not recording it on the actual 1 year anniversary.
Imagine.
Sorry. Some of us need to have time to edit things.
And cut out all of us sipping in our carrot cake eating.
Nope, that's all staying in. This is gonna be full,
candid
uncut,
episode.
Unedited, candid.
Oh no.
We're just talking. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's been interesting how much the obviously once you have fewer things on, being able to time exists in a really different way where days start to blur into each other. Like one of my YouTube shorts released on Tuesday, I released them on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. And on Tuesday, the one came out, and I forgot about it. I forgot that it was releasing that day because I scheduled them in advance. And I saw it pop up on my YouTube, and I was like, oh, I have to send this to the people who I usually send them to immediately, just for the sake of, hey, check these ones out.
Yeah.
And I sent it, and I was like, oh, I completely forgot today is Thursday, and my new video releases. And I was like, oh, wait, hang on, it's Tuesday. And that's where my brain was, because I just didn't know what day it was, and I've been planning things all week. It's been it's just weird.
And moving from I've gone from full time to casual work.
Absolutely.
And my brain is absolutely fried, remembering what days I have to go into work and what days I've scheduled work and what hours even.
Yeah.
Because going from literally having a five day a week, basically 9 to 5 setup, it was very easy to be like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing this morning. Yep. Whereas now I'm like, what's on for today? What have I planned? My calendar looks like a nightmare.
Yep.
It used to just be grey blocks through the middle of the day and then little colours on either side, and now it's just colours. And I'm like, ah.
So much colour.
Yeah, I don't have enough colours for the different things I do now. And I'm like, so Google needs to release a few more colours. They've got a few shades of green and a few shades of this weird pinky orange, but I need more because there's only so many, and there's not enough. I've got different colours for different green is social, but there's not enough greens for the different classes of social.
See, I just, everything social is all red and there's no distinction between it. If anything I do with other people.
My fitness is red. Anything to do with exercise or health is red.
That's true. That's a good, it would be for me as well, except I don't do anything to do with health and fitness.
All of my pole and all boulder and all that's red.
Yeah.
So I don't like that they're both red. I'd like them to be slightly different shades of red.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And social stuff, like friends versus romantic-y things, are different shades of green. But there's not enough green for I'd like one for I have to leave the house green, or someone's coming to me green.
That's interesting.
Otherwise, I'm like, oh, I've got a big chunk that says Aaron today, but is it light green, meaning I can stay in my hoodie, or is it dark green, meaning we have to go and drive somewhere?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
That would help me.
But
unfortunately,
there's not enough greens.
There's not enough
Google's
shades.
things.
Oh, we should have gradients. Oh my god, they should.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like patterns and patterns. Oh, Google. Do it.
Google, hear us. Put patterns in your calendars.
And just you can just make it yourself. You could have images. Oh, can you imagine?
Oh,
it's
cool.
How you do word art essentially.
Yeah, some of them when I put them in automatically will fill in an image. So
Wait,
when we have volleyball on Sundays, I'll put volleyball into my calendar, and then if I tap on it, it has a volleyball and a volleyball net on it, which is pretty cool.
I wonder if mine does that.
It probably would. I think it's just automatically through Google Calendar that it if I say dinner with someone, it'll have a little dinner symbol when I open it. Yeah, it's really cool. And I don't know how that happens. It just kind of automatically figures it out. But I think that's a cool. But obviously, I can't see it on the full weekly thing. It's only if I look at it individually, which is a little bit annoying. But that's fine. That's what it has to be. But yeah, that's you and I are both big calendar people.
Yeah, I love
think that
calendars.
It's been interesting as well because you and I have kind of flipped where you've gone from full time to kind of more casual, and I've gone from more casual to I'm still casual, but my hours have gone up a bit where I'm working more often. And someone said this to me recently when I was talking about it, and I was like, oh, now that I'm working more often, I worry that I'm not going to be able to do any of the things that I want to be doing. And he said, the best thing you can do to a busy person is make them to restrict their time more, because what happens is then they start to prioritize what happened, their time, which has been really interesting because this week especially I ended up having today and yesterday off, and I was like, great, I can use those days off to pump it full of the things I want to be doing, which is really great. But it's harder to do that when you're on a more casual basis because you don't have those dedicated days that you can say, I want to do this and then want to do that.
And then trying to kind of do that and then having work be like, oh, I want you on this day.
Exactly, and I'm like, it changes. Okay. It changes last minute.
Because in my head I was like, oh, okay, great. I'm pretty much have been getting Mondays off every week.
Yeah.
And I was like, great, Monday's my creative day. Monday's the day I'm going to deal with like stuff like that. And then I will work a Monday or a thing will come up where I'm like, oh, I have to be doing that on Monday instead. And then all of a sudden I haven't done anything creative all week because Monday...
You keep pushing it.
Yeah, definitely doing that thing where it's like, oh, because I started doing this and I'm like, oh God, is this what not busy Ari looks like? Where like I have like an appointment at 2:00 and so I do nothing until 2:00.
That's the classic...
and I'm like, what is this? I've never done this in my entire life because I've never had nothing on prior to a thing.
Yep.
But now that I do, I will literally, like even today, I forced myself to go bouldering this morning because I'm like, Aaron's not coming until 1.
Yeah.
If I sit on my butt until 1, I'm going to lose it.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm going to go bouldering and then I can come back and then I can come into this. So I'm like, oh God,
I half woke up at 9:30 this morning. And I say 1 because in my head, I'm like, I'll be sleeping until then. Although nowadays I wake up on like pretty much on time. But I woke up at 9:30 this morning because I slept in a little bit. Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep for an hour.
No.
It's been weird. I mean, it was like one of those half wake ups where you're like, I don't know. And my bed was so warm and it was so cold. And I was like, I'm going back to sleep.
Winter blues.
But I get that where it's like, you have something on at 2 p.m. and then you're like, I can't start anything.
No.
Because otherwise I'm not going to finish it in time.
No, I can't even have a shower. I can't do a workout. I can't make anything, like I can't...
Make carrot cake.
Carrot cake, you know? Yesterday, my day... This is really bad. Yesterday, my day revolved around carrot cake.
That's not bad. Why is it bad?
It's bad because it takes 1 hour and a half to make.
Yeah, so...
And my entire 12-hour day revolved around first making carrot cake and then watching the final.
Yeah.
The only time restraint I had was I needed to make the carrot cake before the final.
Yeah.
The semi-final was at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
So I spent the entire day waiting till it was like, oh, okay, now I really need to make the carrot cake so that I can watch the final.
Yeah. Again, you restrict the busy person's time.
Yeah. It's okay, I'm learning.
You try and, I mean, actually, I was going to say try and put more things in your calendar, but the problem is if it changes so often, the calendar changes so often.
And I do have other things in the calendar, is weird, like I literally put like cake making in the calendar.
Yeah.
And I put stuff in. I was like, oh, there's like a few things I need to do in terms of like, I need to record some stuff and I need to learn lines. And I've been putting them in the calendar, but then I don't do them because they're technically not like having to go to do things. I'm like, oh, I need to learn lines. All right, cool. I put like an hour chunk in the calendar to do them. And then I'm like, oh, but I have another hour at this little part. I'll do it then.
Yep.
And then that hour comes. And I'm like, oh, but it wasn't in the calendar, so I'm not gonna do it. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to like tear my brain out and like
put it in a little vat like Walt Disney
and mix it all up.
Pay people money to see it.
And then pull it out again and stab
Make it into carrot cake.
Chop it up like I diced my pecans yesterday.
Oh, yum.
I was having a nightmare. I was going, is it pecan? How do you pronounce that nut?
I watched a TikTok this morning where someone was talking about how they don't know how to pronounce jalapenos.
Oh, I saw one that was someone who didn't know how to say paradigm. That's my favorite thing I've ever seen.
Paradigm.
But I get it. I get it so much. And now I can only, every time I see it, I'm only ever going to be able to say paradigm. So the paradigm is...
That is funny. I've been reading this book called Neuromancer by William Gibson, which is this like seminal piece of like cyberpunk literature. And I borrowed it from the library, so it's a physical book. But I usually read on my Kindle, which is great because if I need to look up a word, you can just like press down on the Kindle and it gives you the definition of it. But if I'm reading this book, obviously I have to do it manually. And because I don't try to keep my phone next to my bed, I like scribble down stuff on a notepad to look at it in the morning. But what happens now is I'll see a word and I'm like, is this a real word? Or is this some like sci-fi BS that this guy has made up? And I'm like, tomorrow morning I'm going to be like, what is a fizzle-wap or whatever? And it's going to be like, this doesn't exist. You're mad. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't know.
No, it won't do that. It'll be, did you mean?
Did you mean fizzle wobble? And I'm like, I don't know. Did I? I don't remember. Did I write it down wrong?
poor handwriting, like scribbles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my handwriting's bad at the best of times, let alone at like 11:30 p.m. in the dark, and it's just like a scroll. I have no idea what it's saying half the time. Sometimes I wake up and I see things and I'm like, I don't even remember writing that. That's just like, it's like memories from the dreamland, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Although I was going back through my little notebook and I was like looking, and I found like old ideas for We'll Meet Again, and like cute. The sketch that I drew of for those listening in audio, Ari almost spilt a cup. That was very close to disaster. Yeah, okay, that's
this is why we don't have tea and cake.
Nope, we are klutzes. Yeah, no, thank you. That's not a good idea. It's a wonder we didn't spill or break anything during the show.
Did we?
I don't think we did.
No, we did. Oh, I don't think we ever talked about this. I had a whole memory. Did we ever talk about this? Okay, in the show we had beans. And I feed Aaron a lot of beans during the show.
Did you say it like that? No. It's like you're scooping beans to my mouth.
I do. But yeah, I mean, not like that. I provide bowls of beans.
You
to
go
Aaron
off. I'm going to take another bite of carrot cake.
I need to sip some tea for this. I'm ready. Okay. So, where am I at? I'm giving Aaron lots of bowls of beans, and because the scenes are all very, very quick, there's a lot of instances where I can't actually like clean up the beans per se. So I just like shoved the bowls like under the counter. We had like a kitchen table thing, because this is relevant to people who haven't seen the show. I can make the story relevant. So I was shoving these bowls of beans in half-open cans, because I had to open a lot of cans. It wasn't like I could just use a half-empty can, but I could in some cases. So I had all these half-empty cans of beans and bowls of beans that I was like giving to Aaron at different points in time. These are black beans, undrained, so there is liquid in them a lot of the time. So I would have to be quite careful when pouring them out, so that I didn't like get all the liquid in there, and Aaron just had like bean juice.
Bean soup.
But at one point, I had a half open can for this was the second show we did. So we'd already done it once, and the first time I was like rushing to try and put it away. So at the second show, I was like, I've got an idea. I'm just going to put it down on the floor behind the counter, just in the corner. That way, this next scene, I can just pick it up and like do another lot, and it'll look seamless. But what I forget is that Lenny, or Aaron, is roaming around the kitchen, flailing limbs and all sorts of pizzazzle, and we will not be thinking about the fact that there's going to be a half-filled bean can behind the counter. And it must have knocked itself over, and I don't think you even probably realised you'd knocked it over. But so then I came round and I was like, oh my God, there's just a puddle of bean juice behind the counter. So I was like, it's okay. I have like a whole segment here where I'm just talking from behind the counter at you while I'm busying myself. Thank God we had about 7 tea towels on stage.
There was so many.
So I just grabbed a couple and was like, flop, 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 soak up bean juice. And yeah, so I don't know where that story was.
We did spill something on stage.
Yes, that's where the story came. We definitely did make a mess. The bean juice went everywhere. Beyond that, and the honey.
Oh,
that was hell.
The honey went everywhere.
Why did we pick honey?
That's a good question.
We should have just picked like
peanut butter.
Or nothing.
Or nothing. We could have
just had... Or like Vegemite.
Yep.
Something that's not sticky the same way honey. Like honey is just like the worst. It just gets
on your fingers. It sticks to everything.
And it got on the tea towel. And then the whole tea towel was sticky. Because every time I was like, I'll just wipe the knife with the tea towel. And then I wipe my hands with the tea towel. And I'm
you're like, I got honey hands.
And then I pick up another tea towel. And because we had about 7 tea towels on stage for this purpose.
Yep.
But it meant that... But no, that was the issue. We had no water. So we had a lot of dry cleaning products. But no actual like stuff that's going to... Like, we really didn't think that part through. Or wouldn't we did have a spray. We did have a spray bottle.
But I think it was empty.
But didn't I spray it at one point? Oh my God, I just had a memory that I missed a whole... I don't think I ever sprayed...
What did you spray? What were you meant to spray?
When you first come back sick...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you meant to spray down exactly as soon as I leave.
But I don't think I ever did.
Oh.
Because what would I have sprayed? I would have had to have had something... I know we had the spray bottle, but I don't think I actually ever physically sprayed it.
Yeah.
And that was a really nice little moment we had planned. But
well...
I'll watch back the video.
Yeah,
no,
that's okay. I don't know if that's a good...
terrible idea. But yeah, so we did have lots of mess. So I don't know what you're talking about. Though.
You know what? I was wrong. That's the thing. You cleaned up that mess. I didn't even see it.
You didn't even notice it.
That's how good you are.
Yeah, no, lots of bean
That's
juice
how
on the
pro
floor.
you are. Too much bean juice.
They probably thought it was meant to happen. Bean juice everywhere.
Exactly. It's intentional. I think writing our
part of my character
like clumsiness into a show is very smart. I can't believe we did that. Really clever for us to have thought that far ahead.
We're like, you know what's going to happen? We're going to spill some bean juice.
Written into the script. And if everyone says, we can point at it and be like,
and I like that I think we picked black beans over baked beans because we thought they would be cleaner.
Yeah. Which, to be honest, I still feel like that was the right choice because the red black bean, the baked beans thing, I feel would have been worse than the kind of watery black bean soup that comes out of... Maybe corn would have been good.
I like corn as well.
Yeah, same. Could eat a lot of corn. Whereas you can't just eat black beans out of the can.
I could eat corn out of a can.
Yeah, absolutely. I can. I love corn. There, look. Hindsight is 2020. There's a lot of things we might have done differently, and maybe we will do differently.
I don't even remember what biscuits we used. What biscuits did we use?
It was like the Vita Wheats. Those ones. Remember the... Like the... Fins.
Like whole wheat ones?
Yeah, the whole wheat biscuits.
I don't remember that.
The grain
Oh,
biscuits.
I love those.
Yeah, they were really good.
But they're very dry.
Yes, very, very dry. I remember there was a point during the first show where I ate one and I just kept chewing on it and you were like, all right, come on, can we? Yep, chug, chug, chug. I'm glad you still remember that.
That
might be one of my favorite. That would be one of my favorite.
Because it was like actually like normally a quick passage.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to.
Because the whole point is that I was eating it quickly, and you were like,
I don't know how to fill time if he hasn't finished eating. Because I meant to say, wow, you finished that quick.
Yeah,
so I was like, what else?
Isn't necessarily true if I'm just chewing non-stop on stage. So
most definitely not.
I'm not doing this. Like, I just saw you take a bite, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it right now because it's gonna be a pain.
Sorry, I got sidetracked trying to finish the Coke.
No, fair enough. We've both like kind of, since We'll Meet Again, kind of pivoted off into the things we kind of want to be doing more so, which has been great. I mean, you've been acting more, I've been...
She's a professional now, that's why she quit her job. Is she making any money now? No. Did she potentially make a mistake?
That's not what professional means. Professional is not about making money. It's about having a mindset.
Oh, well, I was making money, so that was professional for a moment.
Well, you still will make money eventually down the line at some point.
Yeah, I feel like I very, what's the word? I was
Preemptive?
like, oh, I did a thing. I'll quit everything because now I'm going to be famous. Like, I know that's not what I did, obviously.
That's absolutely not what you did, but
there was
it's
a lot
still
of factors that
very
went into it, but I feel like externally, to a lot of people, it probably will look like that. It was like, oh, she got a role.
She got one role in a professional thing, and now she's big time.
She's big time, she's done, she doesn't need anything else. But
and here I am praying for one of my YouTube shorts to go viral so that I can start doing that full time.
But it's okay. That's not what I did. There was a lot of factors going into me quitting jobs and
it's more complicated than that.
Being freelance, but
yeah, freelance lifestyle. Woohoo,
I'm enjoying it actually. I think. I don't know. Am I?
We'll see.
No,
it's very early stages. Let's not count our chickens before they become hens. What's this?
Oh yeah, so all chickens become hens at some point in their life.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, they become roosters. I don't know chicken.
What, so is chicken the juvenile version of a hen and a rooster?
Oh, actually, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
No, it's not. Oh. Is the answer to that? That was humorous.
Thank you for telling me. I was honestly like,
we have hens that lay eggs, and we have roosters that go cock-a-doodle-doo, and then and they're both species. Not species is the wrong word. They're both varieties of a chicken. Okay. And little chickens
are called chicks. Yes, I did know that.
And if you're being extra Aussie, you can call them chooks.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on chickens.
Thank you for that. That was
what we didn't know we were going to get out of this podcast was...
That's funny. It's funny you say that because I knew that from the very beginning. Ever since we turned the camera on, I was like, she's going to talk about chooks again. Chickens, I swear. She always talks about chickens.
I don't think I've ever talked about chickens in my entire life. Other than like in the context of I know one day I want to have 2 chickens.
Yeah.
Because then I have 2 eggs. And that's enough for fried eggs.
Oh, okay.
Or poached eggs. Or scrambled eggs. Oh, what's your go-to egg?
If I'm cooking it myself, I usually will make an omelette.
Oh. Do you put stuff in the omelette or do you just roll it? Oh, okay. So like veggies or like meat or what?
Like spring onions, a little bit of bacon or ham. Probably it's usually ham because I'm gonna be able to cook in the bacon.
Yeah.
A little bit of cheese, even though that messes with my stomach very, very much, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just like a simple omelette.
Omelette, yeah, right.
Or scrambled if I'm really lazy. I do like a fried egg. I usually will do you cut a hole out of the middle of bread. Crack the fried egg in that. That's one of my faves.
My carrot cake rebounded.
I do like getting a poached egg because it's the one thing that I always say this to you, and you're always like, it's so easy to make poached eggs. And I'm like, you're right.
I make poached eggs, but that's fair.
I like having the idea that like I only ever eat poached eggs when someone else makes them for me.
Sure.
Which is not to say that I can't do it myself, but there's something special about it.
There is something different about cafe poached eggs as well, but I actually dislike cafe. Like contradictory opinion. I don't like cafe poached eggs because they'll do it in vinegar.
Oh yeah.
To like make it do that little thing where it does like little Nike swoosh.
Yeah.
I don't like the Nike swoosh. I like my poached eggs to be like floop.
Yeah, like a teardrop.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. That's what the cafes do.
That's the swoosh.
That's the swoosh.
Yeah, okay.
I like it when they kind of the yolk is in the middle and the rest of it just goes boom.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
Like I don't know. That's just.
But what's your go-to egg? How do you like your eggs?
I change it up very, very much.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on poached eggs for a while. I'm enjoying fried at the moment. I'm really having a good time on fried. Easy? Sunny side up if I'm having them plain.
Okay.
Over easy if I'm putting them in like a roll moment or like a breakfast roll situation.
Like a breakfast sandwich.
Because I don't like the moment when you like bite it and it like goes.
Yeah.
And it gets everywhere.
It becomes a projectile.
Yeah, that's just too much.
It's a waste of egg. I want that egg in me.
It wastes whatever outfit I put on because then I have to go put another one on because I've gotten yolk everywhere and I'm like, ah.
Yep. But it's easy in the morning just to make eggs. I've been trying to branch out of my breakfasts.
I don't make eggs much.
Yeah, neither do I. I only made one. I made one yesterday because I was at home, which was really nice. But usually it's like something easy, which is to say not an egg because sometimes I'll boil an egg.
Oh yeah.
Leave it in the fridge.
I used to love soft boiled eggs. Yeah. Dippy soldiers when I was a kid. That was it. That was where I was at.
Dippy soldiers is a very English way to say it.
And what do you call them?
I don't know, but I don't think I feel like dippy soldier just sounds English.
Yeah, probably. I feel like
not to say that it's wrong. I just thought it was interesting.
Australians would have like what would you have? You'd have what's the most like? Come on, think of something.
Ronnie Fowlers.
Sorry, what? What's a Ronnie Fowler? Is that actually a thing? Or did you just like put four syllables together and say it with an Australian accent? Ronnie, old mate down the road, and Fowler, the Australian striker. Oh God.
I thought
who's Ronnie?
I meant to say Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie.
Came out as Ronnie.
Because I was like,
as in like an egg. You're like a runny egg.
Oh, Ronnie Fowler. No, Fowler's the greatest last name for a soccer player ever.
Yeah. I
like
thought that was
the
clever.
greatest last name for a soccer player on the planet. Like barring something like I don't know, dribbler would be good, but Fowler is so good. Like so good, and for a female one as well, it's like foul her. There's like so many different options.
Next to you, Fowler.
Like Fowler's on the ball. Oh, Fowler.
To give context to those watching, we are currently in the last week of the FIFA Women's World Cup. We are recording this the day after the semi-final in which Australia lost to England. Congratulations, great game, really well played from England. But I wanted to ask you. I didn't want to ask you on the podcast necessarily, but I feel like it could be interesting for us to talk about.
Let's go.
As someone who has played women's soccer and has been a long time fan of soccer and women's soccer.
Yes.
How do you feel about the fact that kind of the Matildas have reinvigorated the country's love for the sport in a female context? In terms of women's sports, specifically in Australia. How do you feel about that as someone who has kind of,
I'm very jealous.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why
I'm existing in a strong, like this, the amount, I had a really good cry the other night because I was like, oh, this is so good, but also I should be there.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Even listening to like, all of the girls and all of the players talk about, soccer at a grassroots level, I was like, oh my God, I was that kid. Like, they're like, oh, this is for all the girls who grew up playing on a boys' team because there wasn't a girls' team. I was like, that was me. I played on a boys' team until I was 14, until I moved here. And then I only played in a girls' team because it was school sport.
Yep.
And like to all the people who we used to get changed in boys' change rooms. And they'd just be like, oh, it's just for the girls now because they weren't physical girls change rooms. I mean, this happens at cricket as well. There's so many instances where they've only just started making them all gender change rooms. I'm like, the fact that they were never female change rooms, but sport, I'm like, no wonder last World Cup had nobody in the stands, and 3,000 on the best day, and now we're selling out the stadiums.
The last Saturday's game was one of the highest viewed sporting events in Australian history.
Yeah, on TV and like on all levels, which is incredible. Like it's so exciting,
really,
and
really
I think
great.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of not jealousy, it's probably envy.
Yeah, for sure.
Where I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I'm so glad to see it, but also I wish I could have been part of it in like a stronger way, or I wish I still played.
Or you kind of wish you were that age now.
Yeah.
Where like I totally feel that.
I'm like, oh, if I was 12 now, think about how far I could have gone.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I think there was so much of like, I stopped playing sport because I got very badly injured, and there wasn't really the tools to kind of help me back, and there wasn't really the need, because it wasn't like, oh, it was definitely like, oh, there's no point in like injuring yourself again, because it's not like you're going to do this for a career or anything, because there wasn't really a career for women in that way.
In many ways, to be honest, that's the thing that they're fighting for in terms of the Matilda specifically, is that there isn't a lot of opportunity because the funding is so all over the place.
So like whereas now I think if, you know, a girl with obvious talent and passion about it got injured, that they're still gonna, that, you know, they can back them and go, well, no, actually there is a career in this if you know, whatever. And so I'm like, oh, feel like I'm a decade late. That's right.
But no, don't live in the what could have been.
I mean, I don't think I would have wanted to be a soccer. I mean, like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a soccer player. That's all I ever said I wanted to do. I was like, I want to be a soccer player. I'm going to be a soccer player. It's just what's going to happen because it's what I'm good at. It's what I like. Whereas now I'm like, oh, if I was a soccer player, nah.
You really think you could deal with that kind of?
I like being a creative.
Yeah.
With active hobbies. I like it that way round more than the other way around.
I see what you mean.
Because I think,
Yeah, I think that was interesting.
I would like to go back and play soccer though. That's what I'm currently trying to deal with. I'm like, do I risk it and go and join a team?
You could just do it for fun.
Yeah, I know, but like sometimes doing it for fun is the easiest way to get injured.
That's fair.
Like playing at an amateur level is so much easier to get injured because everybody doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm like, do I?
But like I'm sure, like, but the thing is, right, you'd see an explosion of women's soccer in Australia. Yeah. It's going to be massive. I think so many people are probably thinking the same way as you.
Jump on that bandwagon. All those people that stopped in there, you know, when they were 18.
I think it would be a great
back at it
community, I think, to kind of re-enter, because I think a lot of the people will be very positive and really like kind of nice. But you know, you're right in that a lot of people might get too overexcited, and as a result, you'd be very prone to injury. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at,
where I'm like,
it is a hard choice.
But I think I'm like a lot stronger than I was when I was getting injured so much.
And also, you're probably smarter now than you were then in terms of the way in which you kind of would treat yourself.
I don't know, maybe I am.
Well, I don't know. We've already established how clumsy we both are. So.
But yeah, I'd really like to go back. So I'm heavily considering it for next year's winter season.
Yeah, for sure. That would be fun.
But it's one of those sports that it's not like obviously we've just started playing volleyball and I hadn't played volleyball prior to this. Whereas volleyball, I feel like you can start as a beginner and kind of survive.
For sure.
Whereas I feel like soccer, I can't be like, hey guys, do you want to join? Like, should we start a soccer team?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because there's like a whole level to it that I don't think, which is weird. I don't know why some sports are like that and others aren't.
Soccer, I don't know how beginner friendly it is.
Like volleyball is very beginner friendly because all that you have, like logistically, you can play and you'll be okay. Whereas soccer, I feel like to give soccer to someone like me for volleyball, where I had not played volleyball, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know the rules. I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
To kind of like getting the gist of it and being like, oh yeah, I feel all right. Yeah. For soccer, that sounds like way too complicated. I don't know how to describe to people. I don't know if I would be able
to pick up soccer as easily as I picked up volleyball a couple of years ago. I feel like it would be trickier. Like even watching the games, obviously, as someone who I have very limited knowledge of soccer, and I was still like, I still don't really know like the tactics of it and everything. I was like, I have no idea what's going on.
There's so many elements to it.
It's a lot more complicated as a sport. But it's a great sport.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
But either way, I just wanted to, thought
maybe
it was interesting.
Maybe our next year's check-in will feature me being like, hey, we just won our grand finals in some women's league of whatever.
Who knows? Yeah, 2 years since we'll meet again, and now you're a big time soccer player.
Now I've quit my creative job because I got one thing in the soccer field. I'm like,
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thing, especially asking you as someone
it's so
who.
Exciting.
Yeah, I just think I mean,
the excitement
in anything, it's great for women's soccer and women's sport in general.
It's like, I'm so glad and so proud of everyone that's made that happen.
Yeah,
and like. Even like the fact that I do really strongly feel like I get it. Like I was there.
Yeah.
At the start, like I do know what that felt like. I do know how shit it was to be like the only girl in an all boys team.
Yeah.
Well, there was two of us actually. There was two of us girls in the all boys team, and I was like this big. And I remember the guys would be like, "Oh, what's she doing? Why is she playing?" And I'm like, because I want to.
Because I'm better than you.
Yeah, no, I really wasn't. I was terrible at that age. But then we got good.
Yeah.
We crawled up those ranks. We were the only all-girls team in an all-boys comp. We finally got enough girls together to make... And we... Yeah, like, that was rough.
It's one of my favorite sayings. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers... the dancers from the musicals. One of my favorite sayings is...
the musicals.
Yeah, they're the musicals. The idea that, like, everyone says that Fred Astaire is an incredible dancer, which is true, he is, but Ginger Rogers had to do everything he did backwards and in heels. Which is great.
Yeah.
I love that as a way to kind of acknowledge the fact that there are that there are other factors involved that kind of, even if anything, make it more impressive when people succeed on that level.
For sure.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's a rocky ride. Anyway, I don't know what else is relevant in life other than the fact the soccer's on and the finals on the weekend. And Aaron's getting old on the weekend.
Everyone's getting old now.
I'm not getting old for another few months.
Yeah, you're not getting old for ages.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I said we're twins, and I'm just when people ask if we're twins and say who came first, it's like me by about 6 months.
Yeah. Wow, that must have been really hard. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was
really hard. Yeah, actually, we should have a birthday that we say if people are like, oh, when's your birthday? As like twins.
Yeah, true.
We should have somewhere like bang in the middle.
Yeah. We'll figure out. We'll find an exact middle date.
Yeah. And that'll be the go-to.
That'll be the date.
Day when people are like, oh yeah, so when were you both born?
What if we both say different days?
Like, huh?
Whoa.
Sometimes I forget.
It's a whole
second
thing.
child syndrome.
Yeah, it's always the thing.
Yep. Oh, he's only older by 6
months.
Seconds.
6 what?
Months, minutes. What?
We have to see how many seconds are in 6 months or whatever.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, we can work that out. That's easy.
250,000 seconds. It's like it seems like a lot of seconds. It's probably more than that, to be honest. It's probably
525,600
seconds.
Minutes. That's a year. So half of that.
Don't.
Yeah, not right now.
Don't.
This is when I need my phone to just do some quick math.
I was talking about this the other day about how people are like, our phones are making us less like. Our phones are replacing cognitive functions that we have.
Oh, they are.
And less to do with calculators, but more to do with memory. And the idea that, like, your phone will prompt you with memories in a way that your brain wouldn't memorize them anyway, right? So the idea that, like, your brain will forget things that it doesn't want to remember. And then the next day, your phone will ping and be like, hey, remember this happened a year ago? And you're like, hey, guess what, Google? I don't want to remember that. And it's really weird how,
that's
like...
actually true.
Yeah, how like, our phone is tricking our brain into remembering things or into doing things that it naturally wouldn't.
Yeah.
Cyborg behavior. It's really strange.
It does also kind of that memory thing, which I like sometimes absolutely love, because sometimes it'll be like, that was a great time, and I'll message the person or whatever.
Yeah.
But then a lot of the times I'm like, oh God, why did you remind me of that whole phase?
Yeah.
Or I'll be like, oh, thanks for reminding me. I'm going to now go clear out all those photos.
Yeah, get rid of all that.
Yeah,
it's just it's really interesting. I just thought it was a fun little brain thing. But yeah, the computers are weird.
I tell you I built a shelf.
No.
I built half a shelf.
Congratulations.
I know, I built half a shelf.
Wow.
I'd show you, but the photos on my phone over there.
Oh, well.
Half a shelf. It's going to go there.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to put little plants in it.
Oh, that's nice.
And all of that stuff.
That's good. It can be next to the window.
Because I currently live in a house that looks like I'm a broke college student, even though my room is lovely. But yeah, I get that. But I live out of plastic tubs, and I feel like that's not really the look I want to go for.
I don't know. It's better than living off the floor.
Yeah, I used to do that though.
You've upgraded to plastic tubs.
Like I've upgraded to a cardboard bed and plastic tubs.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need to upgrade to like maybe an actual shelving unit. So I'm building a shelf.
I do like shelves, but also like eventually I get to a point where I'm like, I'll leave this shelf as a dump shelf, and then that shelf becomes full of.
That shelf.
Yep.
Is a dump shelf.
Yep.
I can see cricket gloves. Yep. Vitamins. Steam inhaler. Tape. Tape dispenser.
It's a
stapler. A yellow nail polish.
So it's a doomsday kit.
A candle. What's
and
that thing where you sew?
Wound shut?
No. The thing that you sew through a circle, like that thing. Embroidery.
Yeah,
I did that for a little bit. What else? I mean, the cricket gloves are the most weird thing there. I don't know why they're there. A lock, like a combination lock. Paw. Maltesers. They're probably very old. a trombone mouthpiece, but not the trombone, just the mouthpiece.
Just the mouthpiece.
A crocheted owl. The Hamilton Almanac. A diffuser. Several birthday cards. A bunch of actual books. A lamp that was made out of like jigsaw. Like what kind? Like it's not even a bookshelf now at this point. It's like it literally is
the dumb shelf.
Oh, and there's the spray that you used to kill bugs.
So yeah, literally everything you need.
Yeah.
You don't
and
need
an ankle
brace.
There's an ankle brace.
Yeah.
Like a really good one. That's where that went.
Next time you lose something.
And blue and red nail polish. I just spotted. I got
so
other
yellow
colours
and
there.
red
And I think
nail
there might be
polish.
orange behind the yellow. So I've got like a whole rainbow of nail polish.
Red, orange, and yellow. Whole
No,
rainbow.
red, orange, yellow, blue.
Oh, okay. That
No green, sorry.
No, you can just combine
and I don't
the
do
blue
purple
and
and
the yellow.
pink, so it's probably just like the first half of the rainbow.
That's all right. That's most of them.
Yep.
It's more than half.
So really, anything you want, come to my junk shelf. It's quite bad. It's really sad. I'll fix that. Next time you come, it'll be just books. I don't know where the other stuff will be. Probably in a plastic tub.
You don't need to clean up the dump shelf.
Plastic tub. No, but I'd like to for my own peace of mind.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But it'll all go into a plastic tub, and then once again, I'll be living out of plastic tubs.
Living Out of Plastic Tubs is the name of like a 2007 indie folk album.
Those plastic tubs were the tubs we used for when we meet again.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I left all my stuff in them. It was just my plastic tubs that we use when we move house.
Yep. So much of that show was just whatever we had.
I'm pretty sure there's a sticker on one of them.
That has like the cans or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
That's
No, it's the
right,
big
I
one with the
remember
exercise stuff in it. Yeah,
Yep.
it'll be the back wall.
That's great.
So, yep. Keeping all of those. Oh, like
Oh yes. I was gonna say one of us. I'll grab it.
I can't think of the spell in Harry Potter. Accio poster. I found this in my tubs, quite literally. She's a little crunkled, so we decided not to put her up because she's feeling a little bit...
Might be a bit distractions.
Although she actually doesn't look bad when she's stuck.
That's the name of your autobiography. She doesn't look bad when she's stuck.
She doesn't stick though. Look, you're doing well. But yeah, so
Done.
It's been a while. I wasn't sure where that even was, but again, my tubs have everything. They have rainbow shoelaces in them. And a mic pack bag. Did you see that?
No.
I'm keeping it as a memento.
Oh my goodness. That's actually very useful.
Yeah.
That might come in handy at some point to put a mic in.
Yeah. This is the colour of my costume when I was wearing it. It's red.
It has sweated off.
It is sweated into the thing. And some rainbow shoelaces. And whatever else. I have some balloons. I have the playing cards we used. I think. Maybe.
Yeah, I want the playing card. The card that I chose from the show, I keep in my wallet as like a good luck charm.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's like a little memento that I keep as like a charm.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. But we were thinking about doing a new YouTube series type thing post We'll Meet Again, where we dissect a script that's been written by AI.
Yeah.
Which is a very contentious thing that's going on right now, and we both agree that AI should not replace writers, nor can it replace writers. The WGA and the SAG-AFTRA are on strike currently, and we stand with them in their terms of their quest to get fair compensation. But
I love the word quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds like we're about to slay some dragons.
Yeah, I've seen the dragons and the CEOs on Netflix and Amazon.
I'm like, yes, I'm ready. Take me on your quest. There's no dragons? What? Never mind.
I'm out. Sorry. Good try. But we wanted to do kind of a thing where we generate a script from AI, and then we both kind of look at it, see if it's good, and then
decide it's not,
and then film basically a version of that script alone, and then afterwards fix it in a way that you and I both go, well, how would we make this better? And then do that version as well. So it could be like a fun. So if that sounds interesting, comment below and also say subscribed, because that might be coming out at some point. But that could be a fun little thing. And if you want to see more specifics about the AI and how it develops into the writer's strike, I have a video on my YouTube channel coming out about that.
Oh, there you go.
So how's
Look at
that for cross promotion? That's pretty good.
I should have known that's where Aaron was going when he was like, do you want to talk about this?
That's pretty good.
I should have known this was going there. He was like, we need to talk about this as well. I was like, we do? Why?
I also think we should do it. I think it'll be very fun to kind of make, and then that can be another creative thing that we do.
I'd also like to preface that Aaron thought it'd be a good idea that we hold our mics for this podcast, but does this not look really weird? I think this looks really weird.
So many people people who do YouTube podcasts do that. They sit on the couch and they hold microphones.
And they hold their mics.
Yeah, they hold their mics.
I feel like I'm about to start singing.
I
feel like it would be offensive if I didn't start singing by holding the mic like this. Also, like, how are these audio qualities going for you? Are you really enjoying the surround sound as I wave my mic around?
Well, they don't do that. They just hold the mic there.
Yeah, but I can't do that. I'm gesticulating with my hands and I'm automatically like... But you know what I mean? Like, if you want to talk properly, you're going to do this.
Yes,
and the sound on this mic right now is probably horrible. But it's alright, I'll do some ASMR. Wait. They also do this a lot. This is the one I was doing. It's like...
17, 38, 64, 532. I'm just naming numbers. I don't know. I thought that might be soothing.
199, 98, 97, 96. 5, 4, 3. Does that make you calm? Are you calm now?
Yeah, I want guided meditation where the person just yells at me to calm down.
There's actually a meditation. There's a meditation like that where it's just lots of swears and lots of like angry yelling and being like, "Are you calm yet? Are you calm? Are you breathing?" And I definitely went through a phase when I listened to that every morning, and it filled me with so much joy.
I was thinking of doing like an ASMR type video where I play Wii Sports golf, dressed as like a kind of middle-aged golfer, and just
I just put my foot in the carrot cake.
No.
Like it's not there anymore, but there's definitely cream cheese icing on my foot now. It's right, we just massage it into the sock. We're adults now, we can do that.
We're responsible.
Yes, I just put it back down on the carpet.
See how much more animated you are now that you're holding the microphone? You get so much more into it.
No, yeah,
you're in performance mode.
Actually, that's exactly what it is. I feel like I have to perform.
Yeah.
And put my feet in carrot cake for the audience.
Foot carrot cake ASMR.
That feels like a weird branch of OnlyFans.
Yeah, I was about to say that's definitely gonna go. That's gonna pop off.
Carrot cake, foot fetish combo. Maybe that's my calling.
I think we're going off the rails now.
We're just discussing future possibilities for employment and monetary gain.
Mm-hmm. Pay us money.
Yeah, do that.
We don't have a Patreon or anything.
No, but like, who's gonna pay us money?
No one's gonna pay us money to do this.
I really need this to come back. Oh, there it goes.
No one's gonna pay us money to do this. You're like a cat whacking at a...
Oh, like those baby toy things where you like lie in a bed
and
get joy out of it. You're like...
the flashy lights.
Yeah. Flashy lights.
I wish I could do that.
I want one of those boxing walls that lights up and you like punch the lights.
Oh, that's cool.
That? That's so cool. Yeah. I want one of those. I think I would be so fit because
do you think you could do boxing?
No. I'd do boxing casually where you're boxing against someone that's holding pads, but I would never box against someone who's also holding gloves because then they have to hit me and I don't want to get hit. I also don't really want to hit anybody else. I just want to hit soft squishy things that like make cool noises. Whereas like feel like hitting someone's nose doesn't make the cool noise that like hitting a pad does.
That's a noise.
No. But me and my hot pink boxing gloves will make the rounds one day. So I don't have anyone to box with. You need someone else to box with. You
need someone to spy. Well, that's where you get a professional. You pay someone to train you.
Yeah, but I don't have the money to pay for a professional. I am a professional.
You could just put your pink gloves on and go out into the street and
punch
say, "Hey, well, you want to hold up your hands?"
Yeah. So if you like boxing and will box with me, let me know because I'm looking for a partner to hold pads while I punch frenetically.
Looking for sparring partner. Available Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
I'll put an ad in the newspaper. That's what people do, right?
Yeah. People read the newspaper.
I read the newspaper.
Why?
That's a lie. I actually don't. I only read it the other day, and that was because I don't actually know. Why do we have the newspaper? Oh, 'cause sometimes I want it to like put stuff down if I'm making a mess.
Oh, okay.
Most of the time I don't care, like as exhibit before where I put carrot cake on my socks.
Exhibit carrot cake, Your Honor.
But sometimes I do care about making a mess and then put newspaper down because of it.
Did you finish Heartstopper season 2?
I did.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I want to watch it again.
Yeah, very good.
All over again.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Sex Ed coming out too.
Yes.
So many shows coming out that I'm like, oh my God, I'm not mentally prepared for this.
Yep. Too many things.
I feel like I should be singing a slow, sad song, holding my when you have 2 hands on the mic and it's like a slow, sad song.
Yeah. You're like
when you have one hand on the mic, it's like you're like it's like I'm rocking, and then you put it to the side, and that means you've just hit a really high note.
Yeah.
And then you pull it out, and you're like, oh, now I'm belting, and I don't want to like burst your eardrums, but I'm not doing any of those things. So you really just got like a whole oral like, ooh moment.
Ooh. I'm so I understand what you mean now, and I'm glad I didn't push for us holding the microphone to the start of the video. This is what you would have gotten
for the whole podcast.
It would have been a whole thing of us just
waving the mic
forgetting
around.
that you need to speak into the mic.
It's okay, I'm speaking into the mic. This will mean you can hear me, but Aaron can't because I'm talking so quietly. Do you think you'll be able to hear me when he edits the video, or will it just be...
Yeah, actually, I can't hear you right now, so this will be exciting for me to eventually hear it.
So this is a sneak preview. Wait, I gotta say something you won't expect. I can't think of anything good. Oh no.
I just said, oh no, that's all I heard. I saw you take it away, and then immediately, and you're like, I'm still going.
Alright, I'm done.
Congratulations.
What if it doesn't pick up any of that?
It will pick up literally all of that. I promise you it will.
Oh, really?
There's no way that it won't. That's the kind of recordings that I have.
I didn't really say anything that funny. I thought it was just going to be like shh.
No. It'll
Ocean sounds to put you to sleep.
Whoosh, I'm an ocean. Hello. Ooh, I'm a whale.
Oh, I was a dolphin, but that was
both
good.
be ocean animals. We don't have to both be anything.
Be what you want to be.
Even if it's a whale or a dolphin.
That's my best dolphin.
That's pretty good.
Don't they like sound? They make like a.
That was Mario dying in Mario 64. I think we need to
stop.
I think we need
or
to
I need to put the mic down.
Give it to me. Thank you for coming. Until next time, whenever that may be, stay tuned, and we'll see you around. I'm looking to you for approval. I know that you don't have a microphone. Yeah, you can gesticulate animatingly. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You want to speak into the microphone?
Goodbye.